Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Y'all know this is one of my favorite days of the week. I love me some Saturn Day because it's a day to really get a lot of stuff cleared out and cleared off and, you know, taken care of. So I wanted to just pop in real quick with a message for you guys. A lot of times when we find that we're not able to move forward or we can't make decisions. Hey, William. We can't make decisions, we can't move forward, or we are afraid to make a move, right? We're afraid to even take a step in any direction. 9 times out of 10 is because something has happened in the past that made us feel like we couldn't trust ourselves. You were in some sort of relationship and it didn't work out, right? Maybe it was abusive, maybe it was just toxic and it didn't work out. So you have apprehension about getting into another relationship, or if you get into the relationship, you're expecting for the same thing to happen. You don't trust your own picker, right? You ran a business before and it failed. You've run several businesses and it failed. And so therefore it's very tough for you to step out and get out there and start another business. You spoke once in front of a crowd, you made a mistake because you got nervous and people laughed. Somebody laughed at you. So now you won't get on Facebook Live and do videos, or you won't start the YouTube channel that your spirit team has been telling you to start for the past 5 years, right? So whatever it is, if you're not able to take those steps forward, usually it is because of some faltering in your self-trust, okay? So this is a great way for you to turn that around. Whenever you start feeling like you're doubting what you can do or you feel apprehension about doing it, okay? Think back to a time that you made a mistake. You were in a crazy situation. And remember the point at which you decided, you know what? I'm in a crazy situation. You know what? That didn't feel good. I don't really like how that felt. I don't like how that turned out, right? So this is a great way for you to tap into the fact that you trusted your feeling. You trusted that that situation wasn't designed for you. You trusted that you weren't feeling good about something, right? And you made a decision to change that particular thing, whether it was a decision to go run and hide after you spoke in front of people and they laughed at you and you made a mistake, okay? Or whether it was you decided to get out of a situation, get out of a certain job, or get out of a relationship that didn't serve you anymore, all right? Whether you decided to move because you got tired of your place, breaking in your place, okay? Most of the time we focus on the initial decision. We focus on, I should have never moved there, right? I should have never started talking to him. I should have never got up and said what I said. We focus on the initial thing, but we don't pay attention to the time or the point at which we recognized that that thing didn't fit for us. Not that it was a mistake, it just didn't fit what our desire was, right? It did not magnify the thing that we wanted to experience. It didn't magnify the emotion that we wanted to have. So if you can take your focus off of the initial decision to do something that didn't quite work out for you, but then redirect the focus on the point at which you knew that that thing was not the thing for you, right? That can help you align with the fact, you know what? I can trust myself, because even if I get myself in a precarious situation, I know that I can trust myself enough to know that it is time for me to step out of that. It's time for me to get away from that. It's time for me to pay attention to my emotions. And I know that I can trust when that happens. Okay? So if you have been afraid to put yourself out there and start making videos or start sharing your work, your art, your products, talking about what you do as a service provider. If you are an aspiring coach and you've been holding back on sharing your knowledge, right? for whatever reason, because you feel like you have imposter syndrome. You feel like, I don't know enough. Who am I to get out here and start telling people how to live their lives and what to do, right? My life was such a mess. Who am I to tell somebody how to live their lives? Remember the point at which you decided to change your life. Remember the point at which you decided, this doesn't work for me. I'm better than this. I can do more. I'm worth more. Okay, I am enough. That pulls you back into that point of self-trust. It pulls you into that point of strength and groundedness to know that you can step all the way into it. You don't have to have all of the answers. You don't have to have all of the answers. You don't have to know how it's going to turn out. In fact, that's the most beautiful part about it. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is my fourth business, okay? The previous businesses failed. Failed. This is my first successful business, okay? I did not stop. Yes, I have moments of PTSD that paralyze me sometimes, right? But I trust myself because I know I am now equipped with the tools to pull myself out of that paralysis. So when it comes in, and we already talked about what that is, that resistance, that opposition, that opposing energy, right? When it comes in, I already know, girl, you got the tools to combat this. You know, it's now a choice. It's now a choice. You could choose to stay here in this ruminating thought that's not getting you anywhere, that's keeping you stuck and frozen. Or you can choose to shift your perspective so you can shift your experience and get moving. It only takes a few minutes to do it. So I trust that no matter what happens in my life, if it's something that I've never experienced before, if it's something that I'm nervous about, if it's something that I'm not quite sure of, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to work out. I don't know if it's going to pan out. Doesn't matter. I trust that if I hit a roadblock, if I come to a point where it's scary or where I want to back out, I have tools to flip that perspective. I have tools to shift it and to get me moving in the right direction. So even if I don't trust what's going on, I trust the process that I have. I trust my healing process, my healing plan. That's why I tell people it's so important for you to come up with a healing plan for yourself, something that you can use quick, right on the spot. Because those conflicting thoughts do creep in, they're going to come. That opposing energy is strong, very, very strong. Okay? And it's the reason why I do what I do, because I've had to do it for myself. And I still do it for myself. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I have days where I'm just don't want to do this anymore. I do. I have days where I'm like, I should just marry rich. You know what I'm saying? I should just focus on my looks and go to the places where I know I can meet rich men and marry rich. I have days like that, you know. I have days where I'm like, I could just move back home and live in my mother's apartment building and just get a regular job and be regular. I could do that. It'd be easier. But I also know what my purpose is. I also know why I am here. I also know why this kind of work was introduced to me in the first place, okay? And I said yes to it. I made a commitment to it. And when I return to me over and over again, when I give myself back to myself and I return to me, what I'm doing is I'm returning to the truth within me. I'm returning to the trust within me. I'm saying, I trust me. I know that I can do this. Even if it's hard, even if it sometimes feels like, when the fuck is it gonna happen, right? Because it feels like that sometimes. Sometimes it's just like, okay. But then you have to ask yourself, who am I racing against? What am I rushing towards? Why does this need to happen right now? Why does it need to happen right now? Can I trust the process? And in trusting the process, what am I allowing to emerge? What am I giving space and room for to grow in my life, in me, as me, through me? Who am I becoming in the process of trusting myself? I hate the word patience. I can't stand it. It drives me crazy. I hate when people are like, you just have to be patient. I'm like, fuck patience. Allow. I am allowing. I am allowing the natural unfoldment of my experience. That's what I'm allowing. I am currently having the experience that I desire to have. I am trusting the way this unfolds. Patience holds a lot of energy around it that personally drives me insane. I'm like, patience? That's just sitting around and waiting. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's what it feels like to me, right? So I have had to shift the energy around, not around the word, but I have had to find other words that fit for me, okay? Because patience just does not resonate. To me, it's like be obedient. You know what I'm saying? It's like be obedient. Just wait. Just sit over here and wait. It's not your turn yet. Wait. Be patient. And that can create more inner conflict, more opposing energy, which pushes us further and further and further and further away from the very thing that we are trying to manifest. Not trying to manifest, the thing that we're manifesting, right? The thing that we are attracting. So allowing has more of a softer resonance, okay? Everything doesn't have to be hard. Everything doesn't have to be hard. Get it. Why are you not doing it? Why are you not? We don't have to be yelled at all the time. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work for everyone, right? People tell me I'm a nice mentor. I'm a nice coach. I'm not really that nice, to be honest with you. I'm not. I understand the energy of words, and I understand that sometimes you do have to push hard and be very aggressive to get certain types of energies to move, because certain energies need that aggression. You know what I'm saying? And you attract to you the ones that need certain types of aggression, right? So there is a space for that. There is a reason why, we hear some teachers come forward with a lot of aggression, right? Because there's people who need that. Everybody can't. It doesn't resonate with everyone to be more softer or more soft-spoken or more relaxed, right? That resonates with some people, but a lot of people need that do it now, get to it, right? I need it sometimes. But certain words carry a certain vibration. So the word patience for me is like sit back and wait. And I'm like, don't tell me to sit back and wait. Don't tell me to calm down. Don't tell me to sit back and wait. That's not going to work for me. What does work and helps me realign with self-trust is that I am choosing to allow for this thing to unfold in the most natural, most beautiful, harmonious, graceful way possible. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It's just going to be beautiful, harmonious, and graceful, right? Which means that even in the unease or dis-ease or discomfort of allowing that process to unfold, I am finding the grace, the ease, and the peace, and the lessons, and the beauty in the unfoldment out as it's happening, okay? As it's taking place, I am able to recognize this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Even if I'm pissed, I can say, wow, this is still beautiful because I get to have this feeling right now. I get to experience this emotion right now, and I get to trust that by the end of this particular experience or venting session, that I'm going to come right back to peace. And that's going to take me further and further along, and I'm going to get closer and closer to the result that I want to see. This is how you control your emotions. And controlling your emotions does not mean you don't feel things. People get that very, very confused. You cannot suppress your emotions. If you suppress your emotions, you're going to make yourself sick. Your life will fall apart if you do not allow yourself to feel. Feel your emotions. Be honest with yourself. I am pissed right now. I'm sad right now. I'm disappointed. I'm happy. I'm joyful, right? Feel each of those things authentically, fully. Allow every cell of your body to experience it. And then allow the emotion to move through you. Don't allow it to consume you. Don't stay stuck in the rut. Feel it and then let it pass through you. That's trusting yourself. You can trust yourself. I know you've had a lot of experiences and a lot of evidence in your life that shows you otherwise, but you can trust yourself. You can. And it's okay. Even if you're in the worst of the worst situation right now, if you can pull yourself back into trust simply by saying, I give myself back to myself, I return to me. Because when we start distrusting ourselves, it means that we have given our power away to something or someone else. So when you give yourself back to yourself and you return to yourself, what you're doing is you're taking your power back. You're taking your energy back. You're restoring that part of you that you gave away. Okay? And you allow you to come back to you. Because that's where everything ends and begins, with us, within each of us. It's not outside of us. It does not begin and end with your spouse. It does not begin and end with your children. It does not begin and end with your coach, your mentor, your guru, your parents. It does not. It begins and ends with you, with me. I decide how long I'm going to suffer. And some people have been suffering for 80 years because they've decided that that's what they deserve. They've decided that I deserve to suffer. I deserve to feel pain and be insecure and be unsure and uncertain of everything and be distrustful of everything and everyone. I deserve to walk around in fear and be anxious about everything that's happening. That's a choice. You get to choose how long you're going to do it. And it's okay to get in it. Some days I'm just like, I'm going to just be in this right now. But I tell myself, we're going to do this for 5 minutes. And after that, we're going to shift it. And we're going to have a different thought about it. We're going to raise the vibration, and we're going to keep moving on with something else. We're going to do what get done what needs to get done today. That's what we're going to do. That's making a decision. That's trusting myself. That I can have a moment, a human moment, be human, and say, I don't like this, I don't like that, I'm pissed off about that, F that, I'm done with that, done with them, whatever. I get to have those tantrums. See, a lot of people are trying to not have a tantrum. A lot of people are trying to not lose control and not be upset about things. That is dumb. Point blank period, that's dumb. Have your tantrum. Have it by yourself, though. Don't be having a tantrum around other people. Do it on your own time. Do it between you and your spirit team. Do you know, I be cussing my spirit team out up in here. Some people call it disrespectful. It's me. I'm talking to myself. They're not outside of me. They are me. So I'm having a conversation with myself. Right? So I'm not disrespecting any spirit, any entity, any energy. I'm not disrespecting them. I've been doing this for years, cussing them out. And they still assist me because they are me. They are aspects of me. And I am allowed to have my human experience. I am allowed to have my tantrum. Because I trust that I am going to do this for a short time. I'm going to get it out of my system. I'm going to write it down, burn it, and then I'm going to move on and shift the perspective by doing whatever kind of technique that I do or that I teach my clients and my students how to do, right? I'm going to shift it quickly, raise my vibration, and keep going. Simple as that. But you have to get it out of you. Don't try to hold it. Don't try to suppress it. If you do that, it's not going to help you. It's not going to serve you. Things are going to keep falling apart and keep moving slow. They're going to slow all the way down because you're not letting it out. And it just turns into a ruminating thought over and over again. Then you try to stop the thought and you just suppress it even more. Sometimes you just got to let it out. Let me tell you something about rage. Rage is a very powerful energy when it is used responsibly, when it is directed responsibly. When you know how to direct energy and you know how to direct your rage at something, you can move a mountain. You can get on-the-spot results just like that. So let it out. Trust yourself. Emotions are the way that we manifest things, okay? So if you are, if you're feeling sad about something or disappointed about something, guess what? You're going to manifest more opportunities for you to feel sad and upset and depressed about something, okay? So the best thing to do is to go ahead, feel that, get it out the way, and then get into a different mindset quickly. Feel it. Be like, fuck it. Whatever you gotta do. If you gotta go for a walk, go work out, clean the house, put on some rock music, some punk music or whatever, the heavy metal music or whatever you need to listen to, some trap music or whatever, right? Whatever. Get in the car and just drive. Whatever you gotta do, let it out. Scream, holler. Now I know in LA they got places where you can go break shit if you need to. If you shoot guns, go to the gun range. Let off some rounds. Whatever. Get it out. And see, the reason why human beings end up getting so sick and so low or so angry, and they just stay in this perpetual cycle of unhealthy energy, is because the energy gets stuck in the body because it's never getting released. And sometimes you got to do something physical to release it. So if you ever seen an animal get scared, right? What do? They shake it off. They shake. Their whole bodies will just start shaking because they're releasing that energy. They do it naturally. We don't. We get scared. We go into shock, like, okay? And after the moment has passed, we don't do anything else about it. So it gets trapped in certain areas of the body. Y'all excuse my holes. I got my workout shirt on. It gets trapped in certain areas of the body, right? Mainly around the pelvic region. This is where it gets trapped. Whether you're a man or a woman. Because we're not trusting ourselves enough to become vulnerable with ourselves. Trust means vulnerability. Are you vulnerable enough to trust yourself enough to release your emotions, to allow yourself to have a moment, to be human, so that you can return back to your God mind, your goddess mind? Because we are both. You're in a human body. You're on planet Earth. You're human. It's okay to be human. Nothing wrong with it. It's a beautiful experience. It's a lot of souls knocking down the doors of Earth to be human. A lot of them want this experience. And nothing gets under my skin more than hearing people, a lot of spiritual people, talk about how they hate human, how they hate being human. They hate the human experience. They wish they weren't here. They wish they didn't live here. Now, I do know that I'm from somewhere else, from many other places. I know I'm not 100% human. I know that. None of us are, right? But I appreciate the experience I get to have as being human here on this planet. I appreciate it because I have a beautiful human experience. My human experience is the bomb. I love it. Even the tougher parts of my human experience when I was younger, I can still look back at those moments and say, you know what? I'm so happy I went through that. And when I was younger, I remember saying, I know this is hard right now, but something in me still feels happy. I remember being 12 years old saying that. I know this is kind of hard right now, and my family is going through a lot of stuff, and I feel that, but for some reason, I just still feel happy. Because even then, I knew that there was something else coming, that wasn't the end all be all, right? Even then, I was able to trust myself and trust that you got this. You know enough to get through these trials, these tribulations, these tests. You know enough. Even if you think you don't know, you already know. When you start working with a coach or a teacher or a mentor or a therapist or whoever you decide to choose to work with, right, to help you in your journey, we're not really telling you stuff you don't know. You already know it. Now, we might be teaching you techniques that you've never learned before, that you've never tried before, but the end result of that thing and the process that it makes you go through to get to the end result, you already knew that was possible. You already trusted that you could have that experience. That's why you sought that person out. Because you already knew, I can do this, I just need some help. I just need a little activation. Right? I always tell people I work with my mentor because she activated something inside of me. It was already there. But working with her, connecting with her energy, activated something in me. I trusted myself. I knew out of the sea of mentors, because there's so many coaches, so many mentors out there, right? Good ones, really, really good ones. All have a different approach. All have a different way of doing things. But because I trusted myself, I knew that she was the one I need in that moment. That's the one. So the moment you decide to have a different experience is the moment that you need to reflect upon the next time you feel like you can't trust yourself. No, I got myself out of this already. I know I can do this. If you make a mistake, so what? I got holes in my shirt on camera. I don't care. So I trust that my message, the words that I'm saying, the energy that I am putting into this video right now is going to draw your attention more than the holes in my shirt. I knew I had holes in my shirt before I got on camera. So I trusted that the message needed to come out now before I left out to do what I got to do today. I trust the moment. I trust the energy. I trust the voice. I trust the push. I trust the knowing, the thought that comes in the moment. I trust it, even the so-called negative thought. I trust that. It's there. I trust it. And I trust that it's showing up so that it can pull me into a different experience right now. I trust that it's showing up as an opportunity for me to make a different choice. I trust that it's showing up probably as a test to see, hey, you ready to pull yourself back into a higher vibration every time this thought comes? You can keep pulling yourself into that higher vibration until the thought no longer has any weight. It doesn't have any power anymore. I'm not trying to make it disappear. I've already confronted the energy of the thought. I have already said, I see you. Thank you very much. I know what you're trying to do, and I appreciate that. And you've done a good job of doing that all these years. Thank you. But you know what? Don't need you anymore right now. So I trusted myself to come up with a different way of handling that thought when it comes up. Instead of spiraling, allowing that thought to take me out and to spiral me down into a place where I am not going to get the things that I want to get. I'm not going to have the experience I want to have. I chose to do something different. I trusted that this new path is going to get me to where I want to go a lot faster. Okay? So, hope this has been helpful for someone. You guys make sure you get on the wait list for the Be Magic method. I am going to be doing a free 6-series video training on how to break through success blocking patterns, okay? And it's not something you guys have ever heard me talk about. You might have heard me talk about it a little bit, but you do not know the techniques that I'm going to be sharing in this training. So if you want to get in on that free training, go ahead and click that link, thebemagicmethod.com. Get on the wait list so that you can get the emails when they come out, so you'll know when the videos are being released. And you'll be able to jump right in and receive these free trainings that I'm going to be giving you guys, okay? Also, the Be Magic 8-week manifestation program is coming up in August. So be sure to, when you get on this list, you'll have all of the information you need to be able to get in on that class. I'm only working with a very, very small group of people. I like to keep it small because it allows me to give the time and the attention to the people who are in that particular class. If it's too many people in there, I'm not going to be able to do a lot of one-on-one stuff. So it's definitely a great time to jump in on that. The Be Magic program has changed a lot. There's a lot more information that I have added and that I'm going to add. I have a list right there on my refrigerator of new classes that I'm going to be adding to the program before we do the relaunch of it. So definitely make sure you get on that list, okay? So if you do want to talk to me one-on-one about any issues you might be experiencing. If you want to do hypnotherapy service, if you want to do a hypnotherapy session, you can go to opendoorhypnosis.com, click on book a free consultation, and we can talk for 20 minutes about what it is you want to use hypnotherapy for, okay? So I love y'all so much. Have a beautiful Saturday. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.